This is Rockstar Marketing Academy with your host, Kara Chase. Every week, Kara chats with you about something that's going to move you forward in your business. How-tos and insider tips about Pinterest marketing, online entrepreneurship, and productivity. You can read each episode over on the blog at karachase.com. Now, let's dive in.
Hey, thanks so much for listening in today. If you haven't already, click subscribe to listen to Rockstar Marketing Academy wherever you tune into your favorite podcasts. Want to get started learning to use Pinterest for your business? Go to karachase.com/learn and get started for free. Today, we are talking about how to fix your Pinterest strategy if it's not working. This blog was originally written last year, 2019, in response to Social Media Examiner coming out and saying Pinterest didn't work for them, and so they were cutting it from their marketing strategy. It caused a lot of ripples and waves throughout the marketing world, and rather than pick apart all the reasons their Pinterest strategy wasn't working, I figured my time would be better served teaching other online entrepreneurs how to fix their strategy if it's not working. So buckle up, this is a long one. A smart CEO, online entrepreneur, or small business owner knows that they need to see a return on investment for anything they do for their business. Some ROI is easy to see, like the amount of money you pay for advertising a product versus the profit from those sales. Some ROI is a little more difficult to track, like investing in graphic design or determining the value of an email address. Once you decide to invest time and or money into something for your business, in this case Pinterest marketing, you need to understand how to analyze that strategy, figure out if it's working or not, and how to make adjustments to fix it. There are 5 main elements you need to work through to fix your Pinterest marketing strategy. You are definitely want to go over to the blog. You're going to want to listen to this again, make some notes again. This is a long one. It's comprehensive. It's one of the longest articles I have ever written, but I felt like it all needed to be said. So here's the quick version of those 5 elements. Number 1, you have to use best practices first, like the right keywords, great graphics, and pinning consistently. Number 2, you have to know what defines success for you. Is it traffic, email list building, sales? If your strategy doesn't match your goals, well, spoiler alert, it's not going to be successful. Number 3, you have to serve your audience, specifically your Pinterest audience. Make it easy for them to convert by showing them a clear path that solves a problem for them. Number 4, you have to know your Google Analytics. Knowledge is power, and this will help you build a converting marketing funnel. That means emails and sales. Number 5, you have to know what to expect from the Pinterest audience. Don't go into it thinking you're going to get big results in a week. So let's dive into each of those elements further. So first up, use best practices. There are several foundational pieces to making Pinterest work for you that all have to do with best practices. I want to be clear here. Pinterest is not like any other digital marketing platform. If you apply what you're doing on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and any other platform to your Pinterest strategy, it will not work. Think you're saving time by pinning that YouTube thumbnail or sharing a picture that just goes back to your Instagram? Nope. You're not, because that time is wasted as you're not aligning your content with what Pinterest wants to see. So under best practices, we have keywords. Keywords are easily the number 1 most important piece of a successful Pinterest marketing strategy. You should be searching on Pinterest, not on Google or some other SEO tool, for your Pinterest keywords. Sometimes those keywords overlap across both Pinterest and Google, but they may not. I often find when I get a list of SEO keywords from clients that some are not actually popular search terms on Pinterest. So, get your keywords on Pinterest first. Your keywords should be in your profile description, board titles, board descriptions, pin titles, and pin descriptions. For more help with wrapping your head around finding your keywords on Pinterest, I'm going to link you to a video and how to think like your audience. Right after keywords comes graphics. Graphics are the number 2 most important piece for a successful Pinterest strategy. Pinterest is a visual search engine, and visually appealing pins are going to make or break your strategy. This is so important. I have written a case study about how one business wasted lots of money because they wouldn't change their graphics. I'll link you up to read it if you're interested. Here are the 4 basic things you need to know about pin graphics. They should be a 2:3 vertical ratio. I recommend 1000 by 1500 pixels. The font should be clear and easy to read. Make sure you can read that pretty script font on a mobile device. You need to use quality lifestyle, brand, and product photography. And check to make sure you're using your brand style guide. We all know how silly it is when you land on a business's website that looks like it hasn't been updated since 2005. It's painful and does not help your audience trust you. If your pin graphics look dated or are too juvenile in graphics or fonts, they're not going to do well. The last piece of best practices for Pinterest is that you have to be consistent. Whether you choose to pin 1 to 3 times a day or 20 times a day, you have to be present on the platform. The reality is, every single social media and digital marketing platform values consistency as part of their algorithm, and in that way, Pinterest is no different. I could not maintain my consistency on Pinterest for myself or my clients without Tailwind. Tailwind is a Pinterest-approved scheduling app that lets me batch my pins according to a smart schedule. I have an average of 10 to 15 pins per day, a mix of my own content and others' content, and I can usually schedule out an entire month of pins in about an hour and a half. Boom, done. Back to other priorities in my business. I will give you a link if you want to try Tailwind for yourself for free. Using best practices are a given for seeing success with any digital marketing platform. Let's assume you've got that covered and you get it. Let's move on to the next piece of understanding and fixing your Pinterest strategy. Define your metrics for success. We know that if you follow best practices, Pinterest can easily be the number 1 social traffic driver for your website. It can even be the number 1 traffic driver, period, even more than direct or organic traffic. Okay, so that's great, but what does it mean? If you don't define your metrics for success with Pinterest, you're not going to know if it's actually working for you. Some businesses simply want to build brand awareness and get eyeballs on their website. The metric for success with this goal would be to simply gain more website sessions from Pinterest. This is a great goal for new businesses, new websites, and new Pinterest profiles. It's also great for the well-established blogger that has a really good ads and affiliate strategy and just needs as much traffic as they can get. The next step for a business is usually gaining potential customers and clients. I do use these terms interchangeably. Is every person who lands on your website a potential client? Well, sure, but you can't please everyone. So refining that audience further to people who are taking action on your website is key. This usually happens with a value exchange of the person's email address for some valuable free lead magnet that is going to help them solve a problem. This lead magnet, also called an opt-in, has to relate to your business, product, or service. This will help you build your email list with people who are truly interested in what you have to offer. There are many ways to calculate the value of an email address based on your website analytics and sales, but to be honest, they really make my head hurt, so I'm just going to let you Google it. The third most common way to define success with marketing is sales, obviously. It's not often that a Pinterest user is going to click through to read your article on X, Y, and Z and then buy your $10,000 coaching package or sponsor your conference. That journey happens with months and sometimes years of building trust with that user. Is that journey going to be shorter and easier with a $12 upsell product? Sure is. But if you don't guide that Pinterest traffic where you want them to go, that has to do with your metric for success, then it's not going to happen. Knowing how you're going to define success with Pinterest is essential to understanding if it's actually successful for you. Defining those metrics are going to help you in the next part of fixing your Pinterest strategy, serving your audience. If you're going to define success in terms of sales, but you only lead people to blog posts that might have great information, but don't provide a clear, easy path to purchase something, your strategy is going to fail. Pinterest will get you traffic all day long, but it's your website's job to convert that traffic. If you are using best practices with Pinterest, you know your goals with Pinterest, and your website is not converting for those goals, then your website funnel is broken, not Pinterest. Do you have a well-designed landing page, blogs, calls to action, and, dare I say, a functioning website without a whole bunch of broken links? You have to serve your audience in the way they need and the way they expect. Usually this means leading them in an obvious direction, spoon-feeding a bit, and giving them a solution to the problem you can solve for them. You also have to understand the Pinterest user is unique, meaning they're in a different mindset when they're searching on Pinterest. Just like you wouldn't copy and paste a YouTube video into your Facebook business page, you can't copy and paste what you're doing on some other platform into Pinterest. Let me give you a clear example. If someone is on LinkedIn, they're likely spending the time reading articles relating to their business or industry. They're going to want to read your blog on XYZ industry thing and then share it on LinkedIn or maybe reach out to you if they need your help. That same person on Pinterest is actively searching for something they're trying to get ideas about. They might even type in something like marketing ideas for small business. If your keywords are done right and your graphics are on point, they might see your pin that says 20 plus marketing ideas for small businesses. They click through and see not only an easy to consume blog post, but you offer them a post ideas swipe file and they can grab it for free with their email address. This is what the Pinterest user expects and what they respond to. Meet the Pinterest user where they're at, give them what they need, and don't lump them into your strategy for other marketing platforms. I have a client that started working with me in 2018. We were clear that our initial metric for success was simply going to be getting traffic from Pinterest. We built out their profile and developed a consistent strategy for maximizing their content on Pinterest. In January of 2019, I told her we needed to take it to the next level and step up her funnel from Pinterest. We booked a strategy session and I took a deep dive into her analytics. We mapped out a clear funnel based on what content was doing really well for her Pinterest audience. Within a week, she had put together a free ebook plus a low-cost upsell. The first day she had her free ebook up, she got 50 email addresses. Within a couple days, the upsell money was rolling in. Gotta love those clients who implement. How did we know what to focus on? We knew her analytics. And that is the next step. Knowledge is power, and there's nothing more powerful than understanding your website traffic and conversions than Google Analytics. You might very well find that your Pinterest traffic loves a piece of content or a landing page that's different than what's successful with your Facebook or YouTube traffic. Analytics was the catalyst for my own light bulb moment with Pinterest, when I realized that a big portion of my traffic was going to one particular blog. And I used that information to create my most popular lead magnet ever. That blog was posted in 2015, and I still convert my Pinterest traffic to email signups with that lead magnet every single day. You can quickly set up a segment in Google Analytics for how to track your Pinterest traffic specifically. This is super helpful for knowing what your Pinterest audience is doing on your website. I'll link you up to how you can set it up in less than 10 minutes. Lastly, you need to know how Pinterest actually works so you have a reasonable expectation for your marketing efforts. 1. Pinterest is a long-term strategy. You can expect to see your traffic and funnel goals start to gain traction in about 6 months, sometimes a year. Pinterest is not a quick fix to get signups for your launch webinar. Second, pins live forever. And this is the beauty of Pinterest and why it's okay that it takes so long. Once your pin is out there, it's repinned by other users, which helps it gain momentum. When you use Tailwind, all your repins of your own content actually count as a new pin, which is a very good thing. When you promote or do paid advertising for a pin, once the promotion is done, that pin continues to gain momentum from the ad spend. Promoted pins accomplish what Facebook boost ads are supposed to. Pinterest will get you traffic, but you have to convert it. Knowing what speaks to your Pinterest audience and providing the value they need are key to converting to emails and sales. Make it easy and obvious. Pinterest users are saving, planning, and gathering. That means your conversions might happen several months later, but knowing which pins are being saved a lot can be an indicator of buying plans. Lastly, you want to plan your content 45 to 60 days out. It takes that long for new pins to really start circulating in the Pinterest feeds. That means if you're planning on new summer content or products, you need to be pinning them in April. So let's wrap this up. If you've been putting time and effort into your Pinterest strategy and not seeing the returns, the good news is you can fix it. Go back and make sure you're doing the basics right. Then take a hard look at your website. Pinterest won't convert traffic for you. It hands it to you to do with what you will. If you need more help, you want to join us inside Pinterest Power Up, the first Pinterest marketing membership designed for online entrepreneurs. Thanks so much for listening, and I will see you next time.
Thanks so much for listening, Rockstar. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Want to know more about Pinterest marketing for your online business? Head over to PinterestPowerUp.com, the first Pinterest marketing membership designed for entrepreneurs. We'll catch you next time.